Let's go ahead and start it, y'all. The presidential debate. Let me know how y'all was feeling about that. I'll tell y'all, lose-lose situation on both sides. Both sides had some things that will make you question, gosh, this is who we got to vote for. It was so bad. I know a lot of people, now they looking at Robert Kennedy on the independent circuit. Like, yo, I think he might be the way to go. But I think America got to make some rules or something before the independence is really the way to go. Because if you vote for the independent vote, it's just like, yeah, you voted, but were they really going to win? Did they even stand a chance? Like, that's the biggest thing with that. That's the biggest thing with how I feel. It's like not even a chance that they're going to win. So something needs to be done to change that. That way that people have a third option to vote for. You feel me? Like, it's just not cool to me that you almost know that you're voting for the losing vote. And they're not going to get really anything, like, at all. It's not even a chance that person wins. Something has to change. Something has to change and with all this before I go down that route. But yeah, the presidential debate, it was a lose-lose situation. Both sides had some craziness going on. And I got a little clip that we gonna play before I just run down some of the things that I noticed about this thing. So I'm gonna let this clip play, and then I'm gonna come back and get everything off my chest that I need to get off my chest, you feel me, about this presidential debate. Let's get it.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin the debate.
President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump faced off on June 27th in the first presidential debate of the 2024 campaign.
I think it was the most memorable presidential debate I've ever seen. Unfortunately for President Biden, it was memorable because of his disastrous performance.
WSJ's Damian Paletta breaks down the debate and how the candidates' performances could affect the election. From the moment he started with his opening statement, President Biden sounded hoarse and quiet.
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach into your arm. You'll be all right.
He was unsteady from the beginning. He seemed very uncertain in his answers to questions. There were times when he couldn't even finish a sentence, and he seemed unsure of what he wanted to say.
Now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
The Wall Street Journal reported recently that there were a number of private incidents at the White House where people had witnessed Biden showing signs of slipping. And we used numerous specific examples of what people saw, people from across the political landscape, and how they had seen him starting to age more aggressively, especially when they were talking about important policy discussions like the debt ceiling and the war in Ukraine. There have been numerous occasions where President Biden seemed a little unsure in public. So with all those things kind of hanging in the air, President Biden really needed to deliver a strong performance to show that that was not who he was, that the President Biden we saw just a few months ago at the State of the Union, who was full of vigor and energy, that kind of person was the person who was running for president.
The state of our union is strong and getting stronger.
We just did not see that during the debate. We are now going to be having a much different conversation as a country heading into the Democratic convention about whether he should be on the ticket, whether he can compete for the presidency. They still have time, but it's the last thing that Biden needed was this debate.
For his part, Trump was a slightly more subdued version of his usual self.
Trump was Trump. He answers questions that he wants to hear, not questions that he gets asked.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him.
Trump continued his penchant for spreading falsehoods and exaggerations.
We now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy.
Even though he, exaggerated certain things, it was kind of effective. It was very consistent with the Trump that everybody knows.
If I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us.
We were all watching to see if he would be more combative and try to bend the rules and interrupt. He didn't really do that at all. He didn't argue with the moderators. He kind of stayed out of Biden's way. Trump wanted Biden to talk as much as possible. No one's going to remember this debate for the policies. They're only going to remember the debate for one thing, and that was how poorly Biden performed. And there's conversations happening as we speak about whether or not he can stay on the ticket and whether or not he can actually be the Democratic candidate for president in November. That's a shocking thing to think, and that's a thing a few days ago people mostly thought is unfathomable, but that's a conversation that's happening right now all across the country.
With the Democratic National Convention scheduled for August and the election still several months out, there is room for Biden to maneuver.
So the question is, can Biden put himself back together again and convince voters that he deserves to be on the ticket, or did he sort of just doom his chances in the debate?
I will say, America, we are in trouble. Boy, America, we are in trouble, man. That whole little just looks horrible. That whole little look just looks horrible. Just the whole debate was holy, bruh. Not it. The whole debate was not it. we're gonna start with Biden, then go on to Trump. Like you said, Biden just looked like an old man up there. Like, gosh, Lee Biden, fight back. He failed that debate purely off of America wanted to see, could he still run the country? Is he strong enough to run the country? Like, that was our biggest, complaint was what we seen up there on that debate stage. That's literally what happened. Our biggest complaint was what we saw on that debate stage. Y'all, I had to watch the debate a little late because y'all know I do Hartfelt Conversations on Thursday. And it ended literally like 30 minutes after the debate started. The debate was an hour, 30 minutes. So I got in at 30 minutes, then I started watching. The first thing I noticed, why is Biden looking like this? I'm talking about, it's like he kept just like looking at nothing, looking old, like that's how Biden kept looking. Is Biden okay? Like, is he okay? He's stuttering over his words, of course, And I've heard he's actually always kind of, like he had a stutter coming up, but that, and then, he wasn't finishing his sentences. That's cool. Biden's policies, people might can rock with his policies, but if he can't get them out, if he can't spit them out, I think we're all cool with his policies. It's just we're not cool with him. With Biden. It was not a good performance. He did not perform good. That's all we needed from him, was to perform good, be able to stand up there and look like he could run the country. And he did not do that. And I know he didn't do it. Even after the debate, they had the after debate, everybody want to talk about it. They said, yeah, Biden lost purely off of him not being able to stand here and show the American people that he can run the country, that he's healthy enough to run the country. And this was another thing that I saw. Because Biden the next day comes back, wherever he was at, and he's on stage. And he's like, I got to give the backstory. They said we needed Biden to go on stage and say, I'm going to fight for the American people. I'm ready to die for this. Like, we needed him to get on that stage and prove to us, I'm about this. And he didn't do that. But the next day, here he comes. I heard what y'all said. I ain't no spring chicken. And everybody, yeah. Because, it's his party. I'm not no young man no more. But I'm ready to die for this. And they said, yeah. That's all we needed from him. And he went on there the next day after the debate. And was bringing people in with that. I'm talking about he reeled them in with that. They talking about, yeah. But I think he lost it in general. I think he lost it. And like I said, we need another candidate. The Democrats, I feel like they're going to have to. I don't know. We're going to have to see what Joe does in the next coming days to, like I said, change the viewpoint of how people feel about Biden. He can say all he wants. I felt like I did good up there. I felt like I did this. The American people need to be listened to. If the Democratic Party does not listen to the American people, they are going to lose. You got to listen to the American people. And a lot of the American people just aren't. I'm talking about, I was seeing jokes on Facebook. This commercial break is so that Biden can go change his diaper. Like, are y'all serious? Ain't no way. And Biden he's not it. Democrats have got to come with another candidate. Biden lost it all the way. Now let's go ahead and move on to Trump, y'all. Let's go ahead and move on to Trump. Trump didn't do much better in this debate, I feel like, in gaining traction, in gaining people to his cause at all. Because he definitely didn't go on any policies like he was supposed to. He had Biden beat in the first half easily. Just off of Biden beating himself, because Biden, like I said, he's stuttering. He had Biden beat easily. But instead of him doubling down on his policies, he doubles down on bullying Biden. And like the video said, he didn't answer not one question. Y'all know that he's not going to answer one question, and he's going to exaggerate, twist the truth on anything. When they started fact checking him, exaggerated. That's all that was a whole bunch of exaggerations. And I gotta ask the question, what is a black job? What is a black and Latino job? I know what he meant to say, a low wage job. They're taking low wage jobs. Yeah, they are. They're immigrants. This is my biggest thing with the whole immigration thing. Democrats and Republicans, they want that low wage workers. They want low wage workers coming in so that they can keep the wages low. On both sides, they want immigrants coming in. Come on. Let's be real. They want them to come in so that they can keep the wages low. And the Democrats, they need people that'll come vote for them. So they giving them welfare checks, all that stuff, Social Security. They giving all that stuff to them, putting them up in hotels, making sure they living good. While poor people in the black community, they ain't doing as well. I digress on that whole point. But yeah, he didn't do much better. Again, what is a black job? What is a Latino job? A low wage job. That's what he was saying. The immigrants are coming and taking all the low wage jobs. But the way he put it, like, hold on. What you talking about, Playboy? like in the moment, they're taking black jobs. I know they ain't taking my job. I don't know. Is my job a black job? I don't think black people can only do low wage jobs. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. What am I sorry for? Black people can do more than low wage jobs. So saying black jobs, fail. That's what I'm saying. And he did this while attacking Biden. That's why I say he should have doubled down on policies instead of attacking Biden. It's so bad. This is why I say he needs to stop. Look, it's so bad. They start going off, I could beat you in golf. Are we serious? Biden challenged me to a golf. He can't hit the ball 50 yards. And here Biden go, feeding into it. Well, I told you I'll play, but you got to carry your own bag. Who carries their own bag? I mean, I would. I would. I ain't got it like that. I ain't about to be caddy, and I ain't got no caddy or none of that. But you the president or former president, and come on now, are you really gonna carry your bag? People who got money, they usually don't carry their own bags like that. Like, let's be real. The whole debate, it was some ignorance going on there, like with that whole situation. Trump should have doubled down on policy. It was no policy right there. It did not it. So I give Trump a fail as well. I personally give Trump a fail as well. He should have doubled down on policy. And they tick for tacking. They going at each other like we don't care about y'all old men who can golf better. Trump talking about he just won some minor leagues, and come on now. Come on. What policies do you have for us, Trump? Hey, America, I'm sorry. We are in trouble. We in trouble. Y'all know I like to troll a lot with that Trump stuff, but Trump ain't it neither. So the people are going to the independent circuit. And I hate that, I love that we have more choice than the Democrat and Republicans. I love it. But the government has to do something to give these people a fighting chance. Like, it's not a fighting chance. The government has to do something. Why wasn't Robert Kennedy on that stage? And it's like CNN did this on purpose. He's not on stage. We're only going to have these two. We need to put some laws in, like, that's the one thing I definitely hate about our politics is this or that. This or that sucks. Because now we have Trump or Biden. Yeah, it ain't it. It ain't it. It ain't it. I think they asked some pretty okay questions as well, Some pretty okay questions. They just weren't answered the best. Like, I feel like as the American people did not get a lot out of this. Didn't get a lot out of it at all. We got an entertaining night. Yeah, we did get that. We got an entertaining night. But as the whole debate, we didn't get a lot out of it. The only thing we know now, this is what we know now. Biden needs to get off the Democratic card. And we still don't know if we gonna vote for Trump because he didn't double down on his policies. We want to know more policy work from him. So we'll see. I'm telling y'all, if the Democrats smart up and they switch him, who knows what could happen? Who knows what could happen? Until then, though, I'm still over here struggling, y'all. I still have to pick between one or the other, and I hate it. I hate it. But it's going to have to happen. It's going to have to be done. It's nothing that can be done with that. If you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about that presidential debate, y'all. Because like I said, it was a little... in them comments. Just let me know.